Hello, this is Monique McDonald. And if you're looking for more one-on-one help with your voice and how to make it magnetic, I want to invite you to check out my coaching packages at themagneticvoice.com. Then click Transform with Monique and book a complimentary connection call. Let's see if we can find a package for you that will fit all of your needs. I'm so grateful for your listening to the Magnetic Voice podcast, and I can't wait to meet you and continue the conversation. Take care. See you soon.
Welcome to the Magnetic Voice, here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel, a show where speakers and singers learn how to be more magnetic and align their voices to the divine within. Today, episode 72, Cassandra Speaks. And now your host, Monique McDonald.
Hello and welcome to the Magnetic Voice podcast. My name is Monique McDonald, and I am here with the beautiful Shannon Kropf. Good morning, Shannon.
Good morning, Monique. It is lovely to be with you today.
We are here together, and there's been a hurricane in Florida, and barometric pressure has dropped and made people kind of crazy, I hear, down there.
Yeah, I'm a little weather sensitive anyway, because, I'm just sensitive to everything. So I'll get a headache, if the barometric pressure drops a certain amount, whatever. But man, this time, I don't know if it's because the path of the hurricane was something we don't usually see down here or what, but we were on the northeast side of it, and it just wreaked havoc with me. And I didn't realize until we were chatting before this episode, before we started recording, and Dave said, I'm seeing on the forums that lots of people in Orlando got affected by this thing. I just thought that was so interesting.
It is interesting.
It helped me feel not so alone.
Oh, yeah. Because I don't think we realize how much the weather, the barometric pressure, we just had a super full moon, right?
Right.
A week ago as well.
Yeah.
So
that was all around the same time.
Yes. And I think we don't really realize how much all of that affects us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, but here we are.
Here we are.
We made it. We're here.
Hurricane has gone through, and thankfully we didn't get a whole lot. We got a tropical storm. That's nothing down here, but those of us to the west of us got hit a little harder, so we're keeping them in mind for whatever damage they've suffered. Love you guys out there.
Yeah, sending love. Well, today I'm really excited about. I launched my MasterMind, my first ever MasterMind for women in May.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes. And I've been very choosy and picky about who I invite into this. I'm creating a community of speakers that have been hiding for whatever reason, right? Hiding their light under a bushel, as my grandpa would say, and are ready to step into the light and speak their truth and be heard.
Excellent.
And as you know, Shannon, I work with both men and women.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And, but I got a really clear download that this particular mastermind was supposed to be just for women. And what I started to think through is this whole idea of this masculine world which we live in, that has been run by men, that has been all the leaders, all the powerful people that we see most. It's not that there aren't powerful women out there. It's the what we see the most is this very big masculine leaders that are men, but also the way in which the world works. This just a very masculine way. And I got very clear that it's time for women to become more visible.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I want to do my part. And what I can do is help speakers with a big message that are women.
Yeah.
Learn how to unleash their voice, how to uncover their brand of a powerful leader. I've worked with a lot of women, specifically in corporate, and on their voice and their voice of power. And what I discovered is that for so long, in order to survive in the corporate world, which is primarily, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Run by men, they started to take on what I've lovingly termed corporate speak.
Right.
And this very masculine, results-driven, and please, those of you listening, please know that I'm using these terms for lack of better terms, right?
Right.
I am not trashing men in any way, because I love and adore men. I am talking about a way of being in the world, a way of showing up in the world. And what I find is that a lot of women have had to play down their power, play down their femininity, play down their sexuality, all the things that make us women.
Right.
And for the men that I work with as well, you know, as soon as they are showing signs of kindness, lovingness, they are accused of being weak or, you know, sensitivity, all of these things that are quote unquote female.
Right. Right.
And I just want to go on record right now by saying we are a combination of all of these things.
Right.
And that our goal as men and women is to embrace all of our powers and know that there is a place for them.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, as we're trying to loosely use these masculine and feminine terms, I don't know a whole lot of men who are the classic masculine, you know, because that's not who I choose to hang out with, you know.
It's
my
so
husband
true.
is not that, you know, typical, you know, strong-willed, do what I say woman. You know, it's obviously I wouldn't have married him if he were. He's very nurturing. You know, he takes great care of me.
Yes.
So I wanted to qualify, as you're saying, that this is not a black and white issue. It's an issue of degrees.
Yes.
And it's been interesting. Of course, I've worked my whole life in a male-dominated industry, and it's so strange. It's never bothered me, but it keeps coming back to me. Like, I'm just hanging out doing my thing. So I'm the only woman in the room. Cool. I'm the only female musician on stage. Cool. To me, it's not a thing. But especially out in Memphis, it would, you know, are women allowed to do what you're doing? What?
And it's
the hell are you even talking about, dude?
It's still shocking to me.
Yeah.
That those kinds of things come up. Like if a man is showing, values caretaking, right?
Right.
Or champions compassion, or elevates communication over vengeance or
Right.
violence. It's
Right.
like, where's your masculinity?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
In today's, so here's what's true for me. I don't have any control over that.
Sure.
Right?
Right.
I don't have any control over what other people think, but what I can do is start talking about what feminine power looks like, and start helping women become more empowered to speak their own truth in their own style,
Yeah.
without having to edit themselves in order to
Right.
be taken seriously.
Yep.
Now, today I was recommended this book by a very powerful woman that actually I can't say her name yet because I'm really want to invite her to be a guest on the show, so I don't
Yeah.
want to jinx it. But
Right.
she recommended this book to me, and it's called Cassandra Speaks, and it's by Elizabeth Lesser. And Elizabeth Lesser is one of the co-founders of the Omega Institute, which is a beautiful facility here in New York, in northern New York, north of Manhattan. Where it's a center for spirituality, where you can go and do yoga and take classes, and and it's just a beautiful. I've taken courses there. I've recommended people to go and into retreat there, and it's just. It's an amazing place. And so I didn't realize the connection, though, when I was recommended the book. And again, the title of the book is Cassandra Speaks, and I think we're going to have it in the program notes today. It's a really interesting book, and
Okay.
it brings up some very interesting things that we've been talking about. And one of the main things is she talks about how much we love stories and how much of our history has been told from the male point of view.
Right.
And how women have kind of been given a bad name.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
like Eve and
Right.
Pandora and
Right.
all, come on.
Jezebel and yeah.
Yeah, like even Mary Magdalene. So many stories that have been sort of hijacked. And here's the thing. Everybody gets to have their own story.
Sure.
But my mission in life is to empower voices. And right now, I'm focused on women's voices.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting place to be, because I wouldn't consider myself necessarily a feminist, although I do believe and value many of those qualities.
Sure.
But I think what we're looking for is balance. What I've noticed is that a lot of women have literally shut down their voices in service to men.
Yep.
And of course, this wasn't conscious.
Right. It's almost a coping mechanism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a way to stay in the room.
Yep. That's right.
And for a lot of us, it started with our fathers. And just generally, have trouble speaking up for ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
feel that when we speak, we aren't heard.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we have, I've heard some of my, corporate clients say to me, I'm in a room in a meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and I will voice an opinion or give an idea, and there's no response.
Yeah.
And then a man hears what I said and says it and takes credit for it because it's heard somehow.
Yeah, that's happened to me. Yeah.
That's happened to you.
Oh, absolutely. I was in a leadership situation at a place, not here in Orlando.
I love how it's protecting the names changing the names to protect the innocent.
I also have an NDA, so
yes. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so I was in a leadership position, and we were having a budget talk, and the new guy on the team, the head guy wasn't there. The new guy on the team, when we were done with this, I was over, it was, $1.5 million a year budget. It wasn't huge, but it was, it was not peanuts either. And I was over probably 50% of that. And the new guy at the table, when we were done with the meeting, looked at me and said, "Either you or Dave are going to be gone." What?
Wow.
What? I'm sorry. And I was so stunned that I didn't know what to say. And I don't know if that's a female thing or just I am shocked at this moment thing. And I had been there for years and years. And so I just kind of took it. Okay. And things continued to get worse and continued to get worse until I finally lost it. We're at a lunch meeting, the 4 guys and Shannon. And I was speaking into an area that I knew a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
A lot about. I wrote the book on it. And the new guy's just like, no, we're not going to do that. And I lost it because I had held back and tried to be in the room and tried to be, emotionally calm and emotionally intelligent and all of those things that we're supposed to do. And I stood up and I said, "I'm done. I quit." And I walked out. And I wound up not leaving for several months after, but the oppression was unbelievable.
Well, I'm really sorry that happened, and I've heard that story thousands of times.
I'm sure.
And
I have no doubt.
What is interesting to me about the story that you just told is that you said, I tried to be emotionally intelligent. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing the thing with my fingers,
right.
like the
air quotes.
The air
right.
quotes. You can't see me out there, but... So here's the thing. How come when women speak their mind passionately, it's emotional, and when men do it, it's powerful?
That is a great
what is that?
Question.
Okay, so I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole.
Yes.
But it is something that is necessary to just know. Mm-hmm. And I think that my role in all of this is to prepare women to be seen and heard, to prepare women to be able to speak into it. For example, in your case, not to feel that you have to hold yourself back for so long that you have to explode, which is what a lot of people do, a lot of women do. Sure. And sometimes you lost it and had your moment, and some women go for 20 years without ever doing that.
Yes,
which creates all kinds of havoc in their emotional life, in their physical life.
I was going to say, that's got to have a physical toll.
For sure. And so That is what my mastermind is about. That is what my mastermind addresses. The first thing is coming together in community so that we can have discussions about this kind of thing.
Right.
With women, between women, dealing with things like that. Second, how to express ourselves in a way that can be heard.
Right.
Especially when we're feeling the most oppressed, if we were going to use that word, or emotional, or passionate. Because it's those times, or pissed off, it's those times where we usually shut ourselves down.
Right.
And so to figure out how to find the words to express and the way to express ourselves when we're feeling all of that so that we can be heard. Right. And to create your signature course so that you, whether you're speaking to sell or whether you're speaking to inspire, whether you have 3 minutes to talk or whether you have a whole hour to talk, we're creating your own signature talk about what is your message to the world and how to express it. And Shannon, I am so amazed by the women that have showed up for this.
Sure.
And what I love the most is that they are so diverse because they all have their own area of expertise.
Yeah.
And what brings them together is the need and the burning desire to now stand up and speak, to finally unleash their voice into the world and speak to the issues that really need speaking to.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of fun. I facilitate it. I do teach what I discussed earlier, but it's also a true mastermind, which this word has been thrown around so often, right? I don't think people really, really know what it is.
Yeah.
But the idea here is to create, well, spiritually, we've been taught where two or more are gathered. There is the master.
Right.
God is in the place.
Yeah.
When we come together, we support each other. We give each other the space, and I'm just facilitating. And it's an honor to be in the presence of these women. Yeah. And this is not a big group. I'm only inviting three women 3 times a year.
Wow.
And yeah.
Exclusive group.
It's an exclusive group because I want it to be a safe space. Right. I don't want it to be, of course I could get 50 women in there if I wanted to, but that's not what we're doing. We're doing something a little different.
That's so good. Just a quick story,
Please.
Since we love stories. Also in this place that I used to be in, we had a women's group, and I'm like, okay, cool. These are all beautiful women, blah, blah, blah. And so we had a retreat, and they were talking about, and here I am, executive leadership, dealing with like next level things. And they start talking about being a help meet, which is a very biblical word that has some emotional and spiritual baggage with it. And, I'm thinking, oh, well, yeah, I help my husband and he helps me, and they were like, oh, I can go pick up his dry cleaning. That makes me his help meet. And it went on for 20 minutes. And again, this is all around the same time. I'm like crying silently in the middle of this meeting, going, there is no other woman out there who understands me anywhere, ever.
Yes.
Because I will never pick up Dave's dry cleaning.
I get it.
If he asked me to, I would, but it's not wired into my nature to be like,
Right.
oh, I'm going to go run errands for my husband. You know, I pressure wash the house and he does the laundry. I mean, that's how we work, you know? Um, it's, but I was point of this and what you said that reminded me of this situation is some of us are wired a little differently or have had a different set of responsibilities given to us in this life or whatever it is. It's so important to find the people who understand what you're saying when you're saying it in a safe space.
Yes.
Because not everybody in that room understood why I was upset.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
and the leader took me aside and what's wrong? And I'm like, that's not who I am. I can't pretend to be that. And she's like, oh, no. You do your own thing. But I didn't feel, even then, I still didn't feel really heard. And so I just want to applaud you for making a very small group of exceptional people who need a different level of support's not even the right word. A different level of connection.
I really appreciate that. And thank you so much. It's important to me because of what I've already discussed. But also, you know, when I was looking at this book, she took the title, Elizabeth Lesser took the title from the ancient Greek myth of Cassandra.
Right.
Whose name actually means, interestingly enough, she who entangles men.
I did not know that. Okay.
But the story goes like this. Cassandra was a Trojan princess who was given the gift of prophecy by the god.
Now, if you stop right there, you think, okay, this
Right?
woman's going to go lead the masses.
Exactly. By the god Apollo.
Right.
And so how many of us feel this way? We get this intuition. We just know things, right? Not that men don't either, but the intuition or prophecy has often been something that is applauded in men.
Right.
But people burned women, calling them wishes.
Well, you know, women's intuition is a phrase that exists for a reason.
Right. So the story goes that Cassandra rejected Apollo. And so he then cursed her.
Right.
So that she would always be given the gift of prophecy, but no one would believe her. And even as the war raged, the Trojan War, she warned it. She talked about it.
You guys are doing the thing I said.
And no one took her seriously.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why Elizabeth Lesser wrote this book.
Yes.
And this is one of the big reasons why I have decided to use my gifts to help women step into the prophet.
Excellent.
So I invite any woman out there within the sound of my voice to please click on the link in the program notes, come and talk to me, and let's see if together we can get you empowered, embracing your power, speaking your truth, unleashing your authentic voice, and to be heard. Thank you, Shannon, and thank you,
Monique.
all of you out there listening. All right, let's take a deep centering breath. And as we breathe together today, I want you to bring your focus to the throat. And I want you to envision golden light pouring into your throat. See it pouring in from the top of your head and moving down into your throat. See the light flowing in from behind you and moving in to the back of the throat. Take a deep breath into your heart of hearts and send your love into the bottom of your throat. And breathe your essence into the front of your throat. And as you see this light pouring in from all four sides, up, down, behind, and in front, imagine your throat opening like a flower. See your throat open, filled with light, blossoming, blooming, completely safe. You are now safe to speak your truth, to allow your intuition to speak, to bring your knowing through your voice into the world. It's time. It is your time. Allow the divine truth of your soul essence to bloom, to blossom, to open. You never need to be afraid again, because as you breathe, as you fill yourself with light, as you connect to the love in your heart, your power is assured. Your voice is heard, and your blessings flow into the world through the beauty that is your voice. Thank you for your voice. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you for speaking your truth. Today we bless your voice with divine love and power. You are anointed. Thank you for speaking. And so it is. Amen.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Magnetic Voice here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. This channel is made possible because of listeners just like you. If you would like to support the channel with your tax-deductible contribution on an ongoing basis or through a one-time gift, head over to experienceofthesoul.com/support. The Magnetic Voice is copyright 2022 Monique McDonald, all rights reserved. Our theme music is composed by Dave Kropf and used with permission. The Experience of the Soul podcast channel is a production of 818 Studios.
Hey friends, Sean here, your Experience of the Soul producer. I want to take a moment to tell you about something truly exciting. the Soulworks online community, created by your host, Cynthia Alice Anderson, and available on the Mighty Networks app. If you're looking for a place where you can explore your spiritual path, connect with others, and grow in a meaningful way, then this is for you. Soulworks is so much more than an online community. It's a safe, inclusive space for spiritual exploration, self-discovery, and personal transformation. Inside the community, you'll find everything from uplifting spiritual studies to soul-centered growth practices, meditations, affirmations, and so much more. It's a space where you'll always be supported and never judged. The best part, membership is free. You'll have access to powerful resources, inspiring content, and a supportive group of like-minded people who are all on their own unique spiritual journeys. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there are premium options available to enhance your experience with a live Monday night talk series and extended, deeper meditations. If you're seeking a place to connect, grow, and nurture your soul, we would love to have you join us in the Soulworks community and see where this journey can take you. Visit my.soulworkscommunity.com today.